Yo, follow, like, subscribe. You know the deal. Let's go.
Now.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is another week of Birds of a Feather on A2D Radio, brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. Our doc, Paul Vidal, in Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton. Hit him up at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We are live. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Twitch. I'm trying to get that down a little bit better. But it's myself, your boy Chucks. We got Jeff below me. What's going on, Jeff?
What's going on?
And we got our boy Pete. What's good, man?
Yo, man. What's up, everybody? It's 1 week to the draft. I'm happy to be here. It's going to be a good one.
It's exciting. It's exciting. Fam, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being with us. We got a great show for you tonight. Exciting stuff. But before we get into it, let's pay some bills. We've got our doc, Paul Vidal, which we told you about. We also got the Counseling Center at Sunrise Detox. You know, many of us and our families, we deal with mental health and addiction issues. If you need mental health therapy or addiction detox, please call 856-651-8117 and tell them that Tom at A2D Radio sent you. Our poll question, which is brought to you by Body Check Wellness, use the promo code A2D to get 20% off. The Philadelphia Eagles will either trade up or trade down from the 12th pick in the draft. Do you agree or do you disagree? So pretty much it's just saying, do you think the Eagles will move out of that 12th pick? So let us know what you think. We will get to your answers. We will touch on that real quick. But the coup de grace of tonight's show, the main event, is our mock draft. We will be going each team throughout the whole first round. Each of us has a specific specific teams that have been assigned to us, and we're going to go team by team, pick by pick, and whoever is assigned to that team will be making the pick for that team. So that'll be exciting. And yes, we are allowing trades. We are letting ourselves trade with each other. Trade if you have the same team. If you want to trade two of your same teams, you can do that whatsoever. Anything goes. So let's get to it. So let's not waste too much more time. Mm-hmm. Let's touch on the poll real quick before we get to the mock draft. Oh, and by the way, Tom, the big guy, will be joining us in a little bit. He will be part of the mock draft too. He has a certain amount of teams later on in the round, so you can expect the big guy to hop on with us. So yeah, Pete, agree or disagree? The Eagles will move out of that 12th pick.
If given the opportunity, I would have to agree to the poll. But it's so hard not. There's 11 picks in front of us. They stay at 12, and we don't know what the board is going to shake out to be. But I'm leaning more to the fact that yes, they're going to not pick a 12. I'm 60-40 on that, so that I would have to agree to the poll. Does it make you upset now that Miami is now shopping the 6th pick? And if they get back more compensation than what we got to move down originally out of 6, do we still, in hindsight, look at that move to move out of 6 or 4 or 5 weeks before the draft as a good decision? That's the scary part. Outside of just making the pick and hoping he picks the right person, you know, or the best player available. That outside of that, it's just so many different factors. But knowing Howie, if there's somebody there that they like, that they have higher on their board, if there's a run, he's going to make that move to go up. And if I'd rather them go up than back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I'd rather them go up than go back, because if they go down, that's not good. That means everybody that they wanted on their board in front of them are no longer available.
True. Okay. Jeff, what do you think?
It's like Pete said, it's a little bit too difficult right now to predict that, because you don't know how the draft is going to shape out. But I'm going to have to disagree with the poll at this moment. I just feel that right now 12 is a comfortable spot for Howie, based off of the reports we're hearing that they don't see a lot of difference in talent between 6 and 12, unless someone they absolutely love that they did not expect to fall past 5 or past 6, and they possibly want to trade with the Lions or the Panthers, or one of those teams, to move up a couple spots. Then I can see it happening. But I feel the reason why they made this decision to trade back, one, of course, was the compensation for them to get a first-round pick for next year, but also that their evaluation of the talent doesn't separate too much between 6 and 12 in their eyes. So I feel they're going to be comfortable on whoever's going to be there possibly at 12, because like the rest of the NFL and the rest of us know, there's going to be a run at quarterback. So really their draft is probably not going to start till after 4 or 5. So
Shit's going to get real at 4.
Yeah.
Well, it may get there. It may get real at 3, depending on who goes at 3.
Well, yeah, which quarterback or whatever, or someone trades up. But
it's really going to pick up at 4.
Yeah.
I agree. I think, gun on my head, I'm going to disagree to the poll. I think I'm good. I think the way it's going to pan out is there's going to be someone there that they like, and they're going to end up staying put. So I'm going to agree to it. However, I was doing research this past week, right? just for craps and giggles, and if say Mac Jones makes it to us at 12, right? So Mac Jones is available at 12. There's a certain team at 20, the Chicago Bears, who are desperate right now. They are like, the GM, I forget the GM's name, but he is on the hot seat. Nagy's on the hot seat. They need something to happen now. If Mac Jones is there at 12, hypothetically, if we were to trade with the Bears and get their 20th pick, right? Trade down to 20. We would have two. It would be two options. I talked to Pete about this. He would go one way, I'd go the other. But we would get, value-wise, just going off the trade value chart, we would get the Bears' third-round pick this year if we swapped. So we also get their third-round pick, and we would get their first-round pick for next year, giving the Eagles potentially 4 first-round picks for 2022. You move down to 20, and there are still some names that on a lot of mocks that come up, and I won't mention one, but it's the one guy is the guy that me and Pete has as our CB1. Right. So if it or hypothetically were to happen where they trade down to 20, and if that certain CB1 was the pick, I wouldn't be mad. But I do not think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen at all. I'm just putting it out there. Trading down to 20 would give you that haul that's very, very interesting. You could even get more probably. Howie could probably fleece more out of the Bears because they're so desperate. Yeah, they're so desperate. Their jobs are on the line. You could probably get even more than that. So, it's very enticing. But when it comes down to it, I don't think they're going to pass up the talent that's there. I think that Farley again I don't think Farley's on their radar because of the medical red flags. As much as I love him, just thinking about it, I think the injury bug has hurt the Eagles way too much past few seasons for them to take that risk. And I totally understand and I get it. I disagree with it, but I get it. So I think they're going to stay put and take a guy there at 12. So.
Now, to speak to your point, and is my audio a little better now? Is that better?
Yeah, now it's better.
Okay, cool. Farley had in 25 games, 24 pass breakups, pass deflections. Like, it's just, he's ridiculous as far as his ball skills. But the medical, we all know the medical. But at 20, I think you can possibly the fan base can be comfortable with that because you just have so many assets that maybe, and then if you want to get back up to the first round this year and come back in the late 20s or in the 30s, and maybe you take like a Rashad Bateman at the back end of the first round, don't wait until he see if he gets there at 37. You know what I mean? So, but no, I think the GM you were talking about was Ryan Pace. Ryan Pace and Nagy both. I think they're both lame ducks. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're both in the final year of their contract. So they're trying to do everything possible to still be employed this time next year with the Chicago Bears. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But I don't think Mac Jones makes it out of the top 10, which is good for us because talent back down towards 12 if they decide to stay put. Yeah. It's not so much the 6 to 12 move that hurts the most. It's who's in front of us at 10 and 11. That's the sucky part about it.
Yeah.
That's the hard part to swallow, because being that you have your NFC East counterparts at 10 and 11, both who finished in a stronger position in the draft than you. But you know,
it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. So it's almost 8:15. We're almost 11 minutes into the show. So let's get right to it, guys.
Okay.
Let's do this. Let's not waste any more time on what the Eagles might do and trades and whatnot, because we will see in a week. Plus, next week we've got a bunch of other shows on A2D Radio that will cover the draft. We'll do a mock simulator and everything, and we'll get to that. But for tonight, we've got our own mock draft. Like I said at the top of the show, each of us has certain teams we are assigned to, and we will be picking for those teams. So for the fan out there that are listening, that are watching, the way this is going to go, we have already determined the order, and as it goes along, we'll make the picks. I will try to load them in the picks onto the screen for you so you can see. So each of us are going to make the pick. I will also follow along. I will keep tabs of it. I will keep tabs of any trades that may happen, because again, we are going to make trades. So you're going to see negotiating here tonight between us. Well, potentially. I got some offers on the table. So we'll see how that goes. And as we go along, I will try to keep you up to date with how the picks went. So the first pick with the Jacksonville Jaguars it went to myself. I had the first pick, which is the most boring thing because we all know which way it's going to go. So I am going with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to pick the one and only Trevor Lawrence, QB out of Clemson, Jaguars. All right, so the draft has started with Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars. The second pick now has gone to Pete, the New York Jets. You are on the clock. Who are you going with?
So before we move on to the next pick, do we want to just kind of talk about the pick prior? Just throw it around real quick.
We can. There's not much to talk about here. That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like it's Trevor Lawrence to the Jags. It's
true.
been known it's going to happen for a while, so there's really not much to talk about. That's why I just moved on. But like once we get to the nitty gritty, yeah, we can start talking about some of these picks.
Okay, cool. So at number 2, because if Sam Darnold was still here, I would have a tougher time in making this pick. But I'm going to go with Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson it is. Pretty chalk so far. So I originally, this Niners pick at 3 was originally Jeff's, but Jeff and I swapped. So now we go back to myself. I have the Niners pick, which shouldn't surprise people. So thank you, Jeff, for that. I have to pick the Niners. So a lot of the talk again has been, is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be Justin Fields? Is it going to be Trey Lance? Pete over here thinks it's going to be Mac Jones. Jeff, I think you said a couple weeks ago, you said Mac Jones. I don't know if your opinion agreed. I said it's going to be Trey Lance. Again, I'm going to make the arguments, and if you guys want to, touch on yours again, you can. But with the Niners, I think yes, Kyle Shanahan has a certain type of quarterback that he likes in the past. He's had Kirk Cousins, Matt Schaub. He loved. I mean, you have guys that are pocket passers, but are efficient and run the system. I get it. But I think trading up to 3, it's showing that Kyle Shanahan knows that with those type of quarterbacks, that has limited what he can do with his offense. I think to get over the hump and not lose these leads in the Super Bowl that he's done twice, lost the leads in the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter, I think he knows he needs a difference maker at quarterback. He needs a special talent, but one that's still able to execute the offense. I think, and a lot of people think, I know Tom thinks as well, it's going to be between 1 or 2 people. It's going to be between Justin Fields and Trey Lance. If it's up to me, I am going to pick Trey Lance, not Justin Fields. I really like Justin Fields, but I think Trey Lance's ceiling is higher, and I think what he flashed at North Dakota State is that quick decision making that Kyle talks about. He got the ball out of his hands quickly, and he processed very quickly, efficient, didn't turn the ball over, and has a rocket arm. I think Trey Lance is the guy, so I'm going with the Niners, Trey Lance.
I think they go. If they don't go Jones, I think they may go Fields over Lance. But I see your point.
Yeah.
If you were John Lynch, why you would make that pick? I think Lance gets them further away right now in the short term from what they were trying to do and the message they were trying to send, going from 12 to 3. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I think like if they're looking at just how successful they can be, but without the higher upside, then I think they go Mac Jones. If they're looking for better success or a better playmaker than what they have in Jimmy G with the higher upside, but not in the maybe not as so quick turnaround, I think they would go Justin Fields. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, thoughts?
Honestly, I can see I can see both sides. I can see Matt Jones. I can see Justin Fields. Now the thing is, our team's gonna with the new reports and about Justin Fields with his epilepsy, whether that's going to affect teams in possibly drafting him, if whether he falls or not, or the 49ers feel that might be an issue. They might go a different route, whether it's going to be Mac Jones or Trey Lance or some of these other quarterbacks. But I feel Trey Lance probably is the better prospect in my eyes between him and Fields. So I see why the 49ers in your eyes would make that selection.
Okay. So we got 3 so far. So now it gets interesting, Jeff, because you've got the 4th pick, the Atlanta Falcons. This is where it gets interesting, because now do they go quarterback or do they go non-quarterback? What you got, Jeff? What are you thinking here?
And that's the debate. If with the 49ers taking Trey Lance, do they take Justin Fields or do they take Mac Jones, or do they go after one of these premier wide receivers with Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase? But we talk about so much in this league how the quarterback position means so much to a franchise. And right now, yeah, Matt Ryan is still efficient, but he's currently 35 years old. He's on the tail end of his career. I don't see him playing like Tom Brady or some Drew Brees playing into their mid-40s. So I feel the Atlanta Falcons are trying to find that future prospect, that future heir apparent to Matt Ryan. So I'm going to have them take Justin Fields at number 4 with him being available.
Ooh, I like it. See, Jeff, I agree with you because I know Matt Ryan restructured his deal, and that's been, a lot of the argument was that, hey, they restructured him. He's going to be the quarterback. Why would they pick a quarterback if he's going to be sitting behind Matt Ryan? I think when you're this high, you have the 4th overall pick, and there's a quarterback of Justin Fields' talent there. I personally think that you can't pass that up because you don't know what's going to happen from here on out. I don't. If I'm thinking in the minds of the GM of the Falcons, I don't think they go quarterback. But if it were me, I would go quarterback. Pete, what do you think?
I vehemently disagree with the pick. Nor do I want them to go QB. I get all the points that you and Jeff just made, but because Matt Ryan restructured his deal, because you have Arthur Smith there now as the first-year head coach, I don't think Arthur Smith wants to tie himself to a rookie QB, because if you draft one at 4, what type of message does it send? And the way you spoke so eloquently about the QB position and being at number 4, I think they either try to trade out first. If they end up making this pick, the best pick that they can make, the best pick they can make for me is Kyle Pitts at number 4. Because then you give me Julio, you give me Ridley, you give me Gurley, kind of washed up, and you give me Kyle Pitts to that offense as well with Arthur Smith. You seen what he did in Tennessee with Jonnu Smith. Go ahead and try to stop that. And you need to score points in the NFC South because the defenses are real, So you add another weapon, and then if it doesn't work out, then you draft a QB next year, or you give up picks and you give up resources and possibly trade for one. But I hear you, everything you said about the QB position at number 4, but same can be said about Kyle Pitts because we haven't seen someone like Kyle Pitts.
That's fair. That's a fair argument, and that's why it's tough. I think you make very valid points too. I could see it going either way, and both ways are very. They have their valid points, and so I can't argue too much against it. I just personally, you have Justin Fields there. It's QB first, and Matt Ryan's not getting any younger. He's in the mid-30s. It's hard to when you're this close, picking this high for a QB. You got to get the future. Again. Pitts, I think me and you, Pete, feel the same way about Pitts. He's a potential generational talent at tight end, offensive weapon. So if you feel that way about Pitts, then you go Pitts. But if you don't think he's that, then I think you go QB. Big guy. What's up, man? What's up, Big Tommy?
What up, boys? It's the season.
Thanks for joining us. Yes.
I'm back.
What you got? What do you think? I've got the selection so far, scrolling at the bottom. That's how it's played out. So give me your quick takes on I know the first 2 or 3 are chalk, but your thoughts on them so far, including the Atlanta pick.
The first with the San Fran, I think that's a huge reach, and I know I'm in a minority here, but I just think that's a gigantic reach for them. Trey Lance to me is outside the top 10 type of guy because he's a project, and we don't know. We can love his talent and his skill set, but it's the Division I AA level, essentially, right? So I don't want to knock the guy for only playing 17 games or whatever he played, right? I don't want to knock him for that, but it's hard for me to think as a general manager that I can take him inside the top 10 right now. So I would swap that. Like I would have Fields there. I think Fields could be their guy, but it's whatever. It's a quarterback.
Good argument, yeah.
The fourth
I think if it's not Lance, I think me and you agree, Tom. If it's not Lance, it's Fields. It's one or the other. I don't think it's not Jones. It can't be Jones.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like Mac Jones, another guy. He's outside the top 10. He's not a top 12 pick. He's just not unless you're reaching for a quarterback. Now with 4, the only thing I'll say is like with 3 quarterbacks off the board already, which we assume is going to happen. You think 4 of them are going to be able to play? You know what I mean? Like everybody's so worried about next year because there isn't that guy that teams are now reaching. Go ahead. If Atlanta wants to take quarterback, be my guest. Leave a ton of talent on the skill positions available for us and other teams.
Absolutely.
I don't think they do. I think the sleeper pick here could be, and Justin Fields is real. Like if he's there, I mean, maybe they do got to take him. I had that argument like a month ago. Last thing I'll say is to keep it quick is I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if the 4th overall pick isn't Patrick Surtain to the Atlanta Falcons
because they need someone.
Because they have nobody. They have nobody on their back end. Pitts would be great for him, but they got to stop somebody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, like Pete said, they most likely try to explore the option and trade him back then.
So that's high. I mean, I love Surtain, but that's
high.
Cornerback's a little high there, but if he's the best player in their eyes, but I can see Pitts there too.
Yeah.
Linked to him. But there it is. 4 quarterbacks in a row though. So
yeah.
How you like my avatar, TA?
Don't get me triggered right now because we can say this for after the draft tonight.
Let's say for after the mock. We want to get through this mock. The way it's going, this mock might take 3 hours. So, all right, Pete, you've got the Bengals, who we also have strong thoughts on which way they should go. But you're in charge of the Bengals. What are you doing?
First and foremost, I know what this fam should be doing. We got like 40 watching on YouTube and we only got 13 likes. Let's get that ratio up a little bit. Let's get to 50, 60% if we can. And I know we can. I don't know what we're doing on the other platforms, but hey, man, you rocking with us. We appreciate it. Let's get them likes up. It's just a click of the left click of the mouse. That's all. Or the touchpad. Or your little touch the screen, touch the pad. Just touch something. You know what I mean? Touch something. So at 5, if I'm the Bengals, dude, this is the more and more I looked at it, and I forgot they lost AJ Green. You got to keep Burrow upright. I get it. But the question poses itself: who do you think is the more can't miss prospect? And you hear the talk: is it Chase or is it Sewell? And to me, I think it's Chase. I go Jamar Chase here. I know the position with the left tackle, but I think for them at 5. I think Sewell's is it there? Am I wrong in saying Sewell's a bigger question mark than what Chase is?
No, he's not. No.
I don't think so.
Me either, but I think Chase is probably the more sure thing.
I'm the opposite of you.
I don't know. I think
me.
Tom and I agree on this. I think Sewell is as safe as not as anything. Like, I don't think he's like a generational offensive tackle, but I think he's definitely got that elite offensive tackle potential, and he's as safe as you can be. Like, he is what he is. He's a top offensive tackle, and if you were if you were like to cross-reference the board from the offensive tackle class this year to last year, I think Sewell is in the conversation with like offensive tackle 2 or 3, and we know how good those offensive tackles were. Those were like crazy good prospects. I think Sewell's right up there with them, if not very close. So I think it's pretty safe. I think it's it's even in terms of talent tier, with Chase and Sewell. But when it's that even, you go offensive tackle.
True. I hear you traditional, but
Peter, he is generational. Watch the dude move.
I know. Trust me, I get it. But look at their coach and look at the division that they're in. Once again, they need points. You score points. I get it. I hear you. But at the same time, if you put Chase on that offense, it's a track meet. It's a track meet. And I probably gun to head, I wouldn't take Chase over Sewell, but I'm trying to do this as objective as possible with the position and the teams and how the board is played out. I think for them, the risk or the lust, I should say, is going to be too much for them to pass up not taking Chase. I think that's how they're going to look at it, because I think if they draft Sewell over Chase, I don't know how mentally strong Joe Burrow is, but you really have a chance. I mean, LSU in 2018 or 2018 and 2019, or 2019 and 2020 was one of the greatest college teams of all time. Greatest college teams of all time. They were unfreaking stoppable. And if you look, what's the coach is what? I can't think of his name. It's what's the face's brother, right? It's Press Taylor's brother. Zach, isn't it Zach Taylor? Is that the head coach of the Bengals?
I think so. Yeah.
So I don't know. They're a wild card too, man. But all right, so fuck it. I gotta make a choice. I'm going Penny Sewell. I can't.
Oh my God! Thank you.
I'm going Penny Sewell. I'm assuming TA's. You're watching the Sixers already, aren't you?
Yeah, I just can't stand offensive rebounds. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, 6. So, ladies and gentlemen, Chrome was supposed to be here, moderating and doing the Dolphins picks, but again, he couldn't make it on, unfortunately. So Jeff will be taking his Dolphins picks. So at 6, Jeff, you are on the clock. Which route are you going with the 6th pick?
So Pete officially took Sewell for the Bengals, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure. Yeah, because look, I'll say this is a Dolphins team that still needs to put weapons around Tua. Yeah, they had Will Fuller, they had Devontae Parker, but with Kyle Pitts and Jamar Chase there, it's going to be interesting for them. So I am going to go Kyle Pitts.
Ooh, to the Dolphins. Okay.
I have Pitts higher above Chase. I'll say it would almost be a toss-up based on their draft board, but in my eyes, Pitts is the better prospect.
Okay.
I think they would love that, to be honest with you.
Huh. You don't want to hear who I think is a better prospect than him too. Nobody wants to hear that tonight either. I think the kid from Bama is a better prospect than him too. I think you can see Jamar Chase fall a little bit.
Okay.
That's my personal thing. I just think he's a great route runner, and that automatically translates. It's like speed in the NBA, right? Yeah. Like if you have quickness and you can get by guys, it's going to automatically translate, and then you can get bigger. Like, not saying Chase is going to stink. I agree with Jeff on that. I think Pitts has a bigger upside, which is crazy to say because Chase is a pimp too.
Yeah.
We're splitting hairs with these prospects. We all know that. Like it's so close. They're all really good. All right. So seventh is Jeff.
It's me again. Back-to-back picks for me.
Back-to-back picks. So you've got the Lions. Where are you going?
And once again, this is another team that's been linked to a lot of the wide receivers in the draft, especially losing Kenny Golladay in free agency. And with Jamar Chase there, I feel they can't pass up on that type of weapon for their offense after losing a talented wide receiver like Golladay. So I'm going to go Jamar Chase for the Detroit Lions at 7.
Jamar Chase, Detroit Lions, who just lost Kenny Golladay. So I think they would absolutely be thrilled with.
They would find themselves in an advantageous position if Chase is there at 7.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't have much else to say to that. Anything?
You got nothing.
It makes too much sense, right?
Don doesn't like it though. Our resident Lions fan, he's not a fan.
He's not a fan of talent. He's not a fan of talent in Detroit. They're not fans of players.
He wants offensive line, which I get, but Chase, I don't know.
You can't. I'm not drafting Rashawn Slater over Jamar Chase.
No. Yeah. Neither am I.
They wanted to go Micah Parsons or something like that.
And you wanted Chase. Parsons too. I wouldn't go Parsons over Chase.
I see that. I would though.
You would. I know you would.
Tom's in the conversation now. Hi.
I don't think they do.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So here's the Panthers. That's me at 8. Right. So I also have, and it worked out ever so conveniently. So the board fell the way I wanted it to. I have the Panthers pick at 8. I also am in charge of the Bears pick at 20. So get a load of this, guy. This is what's going to happen right now. There is going to be a massive trade up. So the Bears are going to trade up. They're going to get the 8th overall pick. The Panthers are going to trade down. They are going to get the 20th overall pick from the Bears. They're also going to get the Bears' second round pick this year, 52nd overall. They're also going to get the Bears pick next year, first round pick in 2022, and they're going to get the Bears 2022 third round pick to move up. So that's what's going to happen. I'm putting that in now, and if there was any debate, the Chicago Bears are going to get their guy to save their jobs in Mac Jones. They're going to take Mac Jones because they are that desperate. We already talked about it. Jim Nagy and you said Ryan Pace, right? Ryan Pace.
Yeah.
are that desperate. So that's the route they're going to go.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm speechless. I'm not speechless, but
if that happens, you better buy a lottery ticket, Chucks.
If that happens,
you're telling the future somehow.
I just don't. I don't know. I can see them making that move. I just don't see them making that move for Matt.
Yeah,
I can see them making that move maybe if like Lance fell, Fields fell. I mean, they do. Not that we are crowning Andy Dalton, but they did bring Andy Dalton in to try to save their jobs for 1 year because their job's not going to be saved after this year. So unless they're going the one to get Lawrence, like I don't know if any of these guys save their jobs this year, right? You know, unless Kyle Wilson maybe is the guy who can save your job. I don't know, right? But none of the rest are like save your job right now. They maybe save your job in 2 years. So to me, the Bears, if they're going up, you better be going up for Devontae Smith or right. You know what I mean? Like if you're going up there, you better be going up there to get a playmaker to try to save your jobs. But hey, yeah, I agree with Jeff. Get that lottery ticket.
I see. The thing is, I agree with you. I'm just trying to put my mind in the Bears management and saying they like you said, we don't think their jobs are safe. We think that they're going to be out of there, but they're desperate. They're going to need something to try to pitch a Hail Mary to save their jobs. So even if it isn't one of the top quarterbacks, I think they're going to do whatever they can to get the next best thing, which is Mac Jones. I don't think it's a good pick, but you're talking about the team that traded a pick ahead to get Mitchell Trubisky. So, you know, them making decisions in terms of the quarterback position hasn't really been – they don't have the biggest track record or the best track record. So that's what I'm trying to, like, make sense of all of it.
Oh, yeah. Run with it. I like it. I like it.
All right. So the next pick, 9, you've got Denver Broncos with Pete.
Okay, so if I'm Vic Fangio, I'm John Elway, all 4 QBs are gone. Now 5 now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, all 5 are gone.
All 5 are gone. Which works out works out for us.
Yeah. So I signed Kyle Fuller. I signed Ronald Darby in the offseason. So even though corner may be a need, it's not an immediate need. But I have a horse sitting there. I'm Vic Fangio. I'm a defensive coach. I run 3-4. I kind of said this a couple of weeks ago. Now it's starting to pick up steam in the national media. I'm going Micah Parsons here at 9 with Denver.
Oh, okay. Micah Parsons.
Steal.
I don't mind it for them. The Denver Broncos, they already have, unless I'm missing something, I think their defense is already good. That makes them that boosts their defense to the next level. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
He walks in the door, guys, right? And they become a top 5 defense in football. Yep. You can write that down with Michael Parsons. I'm just telling everybody, I wasn't sure how I felt about the guy. I've watched him play plenty. He's a pimp. Then you put the pro day on top of him being able to play, and you're like, okay, let me hear more. And then I'm telling you, if you haven't yet, watch Rookie Welcome to the NFL, and watch. You guys like rock paper scissors? You like competitive junkies, right? That's the most competitive junkie in this draft, and I think he's going to change a defense for a franchise for the next 8 to 10 years. I think he's that skilled. He's today's NFL linebacker, not only sideline to sideline, can get after the quarterback. All right, and the biggest factor is can flat out cover, and you got to be able to cover in space in this league at the tight end position.
Look at his division, Tom. Look at his division. You got Kelsey in his division.
True.
You know what I mean? Now you got the Chargers. I think didn't they sign Jared Cook? I believe they signed Jared Cook. You got Darren Waller in the division. I mean, like it's tight end, it's freak tight end division in the AFC West. You get Micah Parsons, that's a chess piece. I'm not saying he's going to shut him down, but it gives you a hell of a better chance than what you had last year.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, I want the Eagles to take him. So you don't got to tell me. You don't got to tell me on Micah anymore. But he was 5 on my top 5 to start everything, and he somehow worked his way up to 2. So everybody played football. So that's crazy.
All right, we got the Cowboys now at
those cockroaches.
The cockroaches, and that's who Jeff, right? You have the Cowboys.
Yep.
All right, I think we all kind of know where this is going to go.
Yeah, we know where this is going. This was a defense that was abysmal last year, and they lost a couple pieces in free agency. They lost Awuzie and a couple other guys on that defense, especially at the cornerback position. And we all know who, in most people's eyes, the number one cornerback in this draft, and they're going to go Patrick Surtain. They need to rebuild that defense. They reunite him with his former teammate, Trayvon Diggs, and he ultimately, I understand we had the debate between him, Horn, Farley, who has the more upside. But in my opinion, Surtain, he's a guy that can, out of those three, I feel is the better guy that can come in day one and you know what you got and can step in day one and be an immediate impactful player for anyone's defense. So I feel the Cowboys are going to feel the same way if he's there and take him.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know what I don't like about the Surtain argument so many people use is that like he doesn't have as big of an upside as the other guys. Like that, like that's mind-boggling to me. Like the guy's always in position to make plays, right? Wants to get better, right? And that's only going to get him better. The fact that he's always in position, like when you don't get thrown at, it's hard to take the ball away. It's hard to take the ball away. His interceptions are going to come because at the National Football League level, teams are going to say, "Okay, rookie, we're going to attack you," and I think he's going to be the guy early on. That's a big impact guy right away. So that's my thoughts on him.
I like the pick if they go that route, but we talked about this before. I think when we kind of hit on the top 10 when Broder was on, I really think they're a sleeper for Rashawn Slater. A super sleeper for Rashawn Slater because they have so many questions on that offensive line. Lyle Collins, Tyron Smith, you just don't know who's going to be healthy, what you're going to have. And once again, they paid Dak $40 million. That's an investment. The offense is going to take care of itself. And that is an offense that they have in place. You add another offensive lineman piece, they're going to put up 40. They may give up 35, but they're going to put a 40 spot on you or a 38 spot on you. So, I mean, if I'm them and I'm going corner, I'm probably they are one of the ones that can shoot for a JC Horn or something like that because don't get me wrong, sir. We talked about this before. Surtain is just so clean. He's so polished. You know what I mean? And I think they have, if they want to just come in and get solidified at that cornerback position, then I think they go Surtain. But if they're trying to hit a home run with the DP position, I think they may go JC Horn. They may see higher upside in that. And to me, if you think about Dallas and how much they like to talk shit, I think JC Horn fits that more than what Surtain does. Which I would, oh God. Yeah, that's just me.
I think it's Surtain, or Surtain. Yeah. Is it Surtain or Surtain? I always pronounce it Surtain.
I hear it both. ways.
I'm going to keep pronouncing Surtain. I keep flip-flopping, but from now on, I'm just going to stick with Surtain and let it be. All right, so we've got the Giants with myself picking for the Giants at 11. This is quick. They need offensive line. I'm going to Rashawn Slater to them. It's just simple as that. They need offensive line. They just do. So Rashawn Slater, best offensive lineman left on the board, and this is around the range where you're talking about where he could go for his value. So Giants offensive line, Slater, book it. And then Pete, you've got the unenviable position of picking for.
Don't screw this up.
The Eagles. Don't screw this up. What are you doing at 12 for the Philadelphia Eagles?
I am going to say a comment about number 11 real quick before I get into the pick for number 12, like I did that there. I think they're a sneaky pick for a Kwity Paye right there too, or a Jalen Phillips for the edge. Because they've done a lot. They haven't done enough on the offensive line, but you see, I think they're trying to get stacked with that defense because every defense in this division is trying to stop Dallas's offense. You know what I mean? So, but at 12, who do I have left on the board?
You have Devontae, you have Waddle.
You got left on the board? Are you okay?
So you're gonna have.
I kind of already talked about this before. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Jalen Waddle he's a very good prospect, but I've always felt like we kind of have that already. He's just a better Jalen Rager. And one of the biggest things for me is, what does your game translate to from a college level to the NFL? And I see a dude that played in New Orleans last year, and Emmanuel Sanders, who has good footwork, who gets open. And I can get a dude who has that footwork, who is obviously younger, better hands, plays bigger. So give me the Slim Reaper, man. Give me Devontae Smith at number 12. Call it a day. I'm happy. I'm glad he was here. I hope this is how this fucking board shakes out next week. I'll be a happy camper. But yeah, I can't pass on Devontae Smith here, man. From what he'll bring from a mentality, you hear Saban talk about how smart he is, how much he likes to work, and this is what we need. I mean, I bet you he's good at this shit right here too. You know what I mean? I bet you he's good at he's probably a beast at rock paper scissors. You feel what I'm saying?
There's a video clip where him and I think Waddle were jogging to the sideline and they did a rock paper scissors or something, and Waddle beat him. So the tweet was like, "Well, Devontae Smith's not going to Philly."
Yeah. So and to be honest with you, I can't think of the last time we had a wide receiver like that with that mentality.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think it's people will say, well, they're not going to, like I heard on the dial today, I heard Eskin say they're not going to put resources. That'd be 2 years in a row they take a wide receiver. What does it mean? Because one of the years they fucked up, and it won't be on this year if they take Devontae Smith at 12. So what does that say? You know what I mean? That means they messed up last year. They messed up last year with taking Rieger over Justin Smith.
Listen,
Justin Jefferson.
Oh yeah, what else? What else?
I'm like, what's Justin Smith? The old Niners defensive end. Okay. No, I hear you. I would love this pick.
Yeah.
You know, Devontae Smith at 12. He's so good. There's so much talk. I say this every week now. I feel like there's so much talk about his weight. People concerned about his weight. Blah blah blah. Stop it. At 12, come on. Like you.
And the craziest shit is, Chuck,
Smith is going to be fine. He's going to be fine against
176. Waddle's 183. Like, you don't hear anybody talking about Jalen Waddle size because he's 5'8" and he's thicker. The motherfucker, he can still get lit up from the blind side.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. I'll tell you this about Devontae Smith. Okay, you make the catch like that you do in a national championship game as a freshman. All right, it's easy to rest on your laurels and just go about your business. Right, it's easy. It's easy. You're on top of the world. You're on top of the world right there. And all he did was work and work and work and work and turn himself into, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in this draft. And if he falls to 12, that'd be the biggest blessing we could get, because this guy's a walking gold jacket. I'm just telling you, that's just my feeling on him. He's a walking gold jacket. He's a great route runner. The best hands in this draft, the best overall hands in this draft is Devontae Smith as well. Probably the best route runner. Now, he doesn't have the size of other guys have, but you could look like Tarzan and play like Jane, and you could look like Jane and play like Tarzan. So that's never mattered to me. Like, go make plays, and he's a playmaker, and he did it at the highest level there is, and that's the SEC football. And if you can get through at 160, 150, 140, 120, I don't give a shit what it is, and you're not always banged up, you can play at this level, and he's only going to get thicker. Marvin Harrison, Chad Johnson. The list goes on guys who came into the league at 175, that were thin and got thicker. And guess what they're going to be? Guess what one's already wearing? And guess what another one's going to be wearing? A gold jacket. And that's just a couple. I'm sure there's more, that I just don't know off the top of my head, right? That I don't know who they are, but I'm sure there's more. I mean, Tyreek Hill's not a heavy, not a big guy, but if you can absorb hits, you're going to be okay. You know how to take a hit. Is probably the better wording there.
And he plays so much bigger than his frame, and it's the route running is impeccable. The route running is when you get fresh pasta made in front of you and they put it on your plate and it's al dente with homemade meatballs and gravy and Parmesan, and they just fucking keep grating the cheese. You don't tell them to stop. Like, it's not that hard. I think anybody who's trying to pick the semantics of he's this, he's that, this person over that person, like, listen, he can grow into his game. He can grow into his frame. His feet will only get better. and his catch radius is ridiculous. And with the quarterback that we have, especially this year, you need a wide receiver with the catch radius.
John Lynch brings up a good point here. He's going to be able to add to his frame. He is.
Yes.
I mean, you get him with the team's weight training program. He's going to add to his frame. He's going to add to his build. Is he ever going to be like 190? No, he's not going to be. But like he'll get up to like 170, close to 180, and that's fine. I Am Athlete podcast or YouTube show, whatever. I don't know who listens to that. Chad Johnson is on there, and he said when he was playing, he was fluctuating weight between 170 and 180. That was his playing weight. And so, there's a whole thing about Devontae Smith's weight is getting way overblown. He can beat press, and his play strength is a lot better than what his weight would indicate. He's a dog. I like
podcast for that one because I just told you that. So you didn't need to plug Chad Johnson's podcast. Just told you came into like 170.
I've been blogging it for weeks. So I'm just saying.
I'm just telling you,
that show is great. That show is great. But, all right, 13. Sorry, no. Yeah, 13.
Yeah, 13.
Got LA Chargers. Jeff.
Look, I understand Waddle's there. There's other weapons there, but they don't really need that right now. They have playmakers for Justin Herbert. Honestly, they need offensive line help, and even though it's not the sexy pick, it's the most efficient pick and the reliable pick for the Chargers, and that is Christian Darrisaw, the offensive tackle from Virginia Tech. He's a guy that can come in day one as a left tackle because right now they don't have anyone else. Right now in their depth chart, their starting left tackle is Trey Pipkins. So they definitely need the investment to protect Justin Herbert, their franchise quarterback. So I feel they're going to go offensive line, and with Slater being off the board, Darrisaw, in my opinion, is the next best one.
Yeah, I don't hate it at all. Makes sense. I think last week I had said Waddle because, man, Herbert and Waddle would be exciting. But, when you need offensive line help, it's the same argument as with the Bengals I made earlier. You need offensive line help. So I like the pick. Disagreements? Anyone else? No?
No.
Easy. Okay, Dad. It's been a long time coming. We are at your first pick, your first team. We've got you with the Minnesota Vikings. Where are you going?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Waddle's still on the board is crazy. And it's like, well, would they take him if he's still there and maybe play him in the slot? Or, I mean, that's crazy talk. So I think he falls past this one. Which is okay because I think they're going to take Jalen Phillips, the edge from Miami.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they don't have anything up front anymore, and they got to figure out a way to find some guys. They use a lot of assets on corners last year in the draft. It was not in the first round, but over the last 2 years, they've invested in that position a little bit. So they don't. That's not a position I think they're going, even though there's good talent still on the board there too. You know what I mean? I just think they'll go need here, and that's probably the best lineman on the board, unless I missed somebody. I don't think I did.
No, I mean his medical. If they're okay with his medicals, then yeah. If his medicals were pristine, he's a top 10 pick. He's a top 10 pick if his medicals are pristine.
Medical and like mindset, because remember he quit football, so that people are always worried about a guy who quit football for a little bit. But talent-wise, if you're talking about talent, yeah, top 10 pick. He's that talented. So it's a matter of risk. How much risk are you willing to take? So Vikings, if they are completely okay with where Jalen Phillips is at, it's not a bad pick in terms of talent. So is that's where you're going? You're going with Jalen Phillips to the Vikings?
Yeah, just for need.
Gotcha.
It's a need pick. They hit last year, which means telling me that they won't hit this year.
Right.
All right. Who is next? We've got. Remind me.
Yourself.
Myself.
Yeah.
New England Patriots. Okay. So Bill Belichick is coming back. He needs weapons for his quarterback because They have no weapons for his quarterback. I think it's just too easy of a pick for me. I think they go Jalen Waddle. Cam throwing deep bombs to Jalen Waddle. Waddle's going to be the playmaker that they need. I know there's an argument for corner, but I don't think there's. I think they have enough coming back, and Bill's always been able to make the most out of his defensive players. So I think that they can address that later on. I think Waddle falling to them would be good for Cam, who needs weapons after last year. So I'm going Waddle for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I can see linebacker being in a position too, but you can't pass up on Waddle there. If Waddle's going, and I can see them taking the kid out of Notre Dame, the Joker. That would be for Belichick, a piece like that he could use on defense. That's a chess piece. That's a matchup nightmare that he can exploit. So, but no, I can see. I mean, you can't pass up on Waddle at that point if he falls to 15.
Yeah,
all right, you got 16.
Yep.
You?
16. I think it's me.
Okay.
Cardinals. Yep. Easy pick here. I thought if you didn't take Waddle, I would have had a real tough time just not making this offense already better than what it is. With DeAndre, AJ Green, and those boys, but add Jalen Waddle to that mix as well with Kyler Murray, and that's that run and gun offense. But I'm gonna go J.C. Horn here. I just think they need corner. They lost Patrick Peterson, who's now in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, I believe. So what a way to not obviously not to replace Peterson totally, but it's a good start.
Makes sense. I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Immediate need. Addresses
the other, what I can see them doing too, guys, which could be crazy a little bit, but just because of a need for it, I could see them maybe taking a guy like Najee Harris there early because they don't have another first-round pick, right? They don't have two. Somewhere.
No, they don't.
I was making sure. I didn't think they did. I can just see them over need. That's another need pick. You usually don't do it there, but it's it's out. You're talking about the 15th pick overall. It's almost it's okay, right? It's almost okay to do it. But yeah, that's all. I can just see an interesting just shake up of the board a little bit.
And I think 17 is me too with the Raiders.
Okay. Yeah. 17's Raiders. Yep.
Whose PR department took a beating after yesterday.
Right.
Didn't double down on it. I mean, we're happy, but at the same time, you just can't do that.
They need what? They need offensive line. They need defensive backs.
Yeah,
I'm going your boy. I'm gonna go first position of this player taking number 17. I'm gonna go Trayvon Mori, safety out of TCU.
Whoa! Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Bring a little spice. Spice.
That's a lot earlier than I would expect, but I have heard he's getting some noise for back end of the first round. 17 would be early for my taste, but I mean they have the need.
Well, there's no tackles left. I mean, linebacker, I can't based on what they already have. Nick Kwiatkowski, Corey Littleton. I can't. The build of linebackers they like. I don't think the Joker fits there. Interior D-line, maybe a Christian Barmore, but for me, for what they need in that division, I like it. I think that pick is there.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you're on 18,
Miami Dolphins, baby, and that is me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's me.
That's you.
Well, I'll say I didn't know if you're leading me into it, but I'll say they got no, it's all good. They got their wide receiver before, so I'm gonna go defense here, and they definitely need some linebacker help. I'm gonna go Jeremiah Owusu-Karamo, the linebacker from Notre Dame. It gives Miami a versatile linebacker who can cover and fill multiple roles. So he's a guy I feel that offense first pick, second pick address the defense. So I'll go him.
Yo, by the way, Jeff, he just hit somebody right now because that dude hits everybody.
Yo,
that dude roll. That dude looking to take you out. Wow, I like that.
I like that pick. I thought you were going to go defensive line, but I really like that pick because you're talking. What's the name of their coach? I always forget the name of their damn coach.
Who, Flores?
Flores. Sorry, yes, Brian Flores. You're talking about the Bill Belichick tree.
Yeah.
No, if you get Brian Flores with a weapon like Joker, that Miami defense, man, that's such a good pick. I would be so happy for the Dolphins and for Chrome, our resident Miami Dolphins fan, because him and that defense was really, really special. So a good pick. Good, very, 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 very good pick. I like it. We've got Washington 19. Tommy Boy, that's you. Washington football team, where do you think they're going to go?
Oh, man.
It's tough, right? It's tough. That defense is already smoking.
It is. I could see them. Okay. I think I know where they're going here. And I don't necessarily love it, but I could see them. Doing it. Rashad Bateman, wide receiver, Minnesota.
Wow. The Eagles fans are mad because I know they wanted him at pick 37.
Yeah.
Hoping he would fall.
I think they reach.
That may not be a reach, man.
I don't know how I feel about him. You know what I mean? So I can't really say how I truly feel about him. But
I love him.
But teams do this all the time, and they really do need another wide receiver. I mean, it's Terry McLaurin and everybody else. You know what I mean? And a bunch of guys.
That's
so they could really use that other guy, and he sort of complements them extremely well, honestly, in their skill sets.
Yeah.
So I actually like the pick for them because you're right, Chuck. I was thinking like Farley there, right? I'm like, did they take Farley there? I mean, it is Ron Rivera. He loves defense, right?
Yeah.
I was leaning towards it, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, Bateman's there. He fits. He's that compliment. I don't know. So that's where I'm going. Fuck it. I hope he stinks.
Well, if he's on Washington, yeah, I hope he stinks too. I really like him. I think that he's kind of like one of those just pure technicians, you know, similar to Keenan Allen. They're not the same build or anything, but like they just know how to run routes. They know. Yep. And I think he's such a good technician. I like him in the back end of the first round. But man, if you need weapons for who's the quarterback now in Washington?
Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick, yeah. I mean, I think that I don't hate the pick. Bateman to Washington. Okay, so 20th, we had that big trade. Now it's myself at 20th, the Panthers. So they need more weapons, right? They need because they lost Curtis Samuel. I know they have DJ Moore. Well, no, they don't need more weapons.
No, I'm about to say they don't need more weapons. They got DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson.
Yeah,
CMC. They lost Rasul Douglas, so that could be.
Okay, I am going. Yeah, at 20. Let's see what type of defense do they play though.
They are. I'll tell you 1 second, sir.
Are they cover 3 or are they more cover 2, cover 4? I can't remember.
Well, I'm pretty sure the defensive coordinator that's there now, Rule kind of kept over from where that person was under Sean McDermott. So their base is 4-3. Remember, Rasul Douglas definitely he strived there because they played more zone.
They did.
I don't think that necessarily matters, Jux. I think you know what I mean. Like I don't necessarily believe teams truly feel like it matters unless a guy's like if a guy's talented enough. I truly believe teams feel like they can.
Yeah. No, you make a good point. Yeah, especially early in this draft, you know, if you're taking someone, they're going to have to play both. Okay, I think because last year, here's the thing. Last year they went all defense with all their picks. I think now they're going to have to start to invest. I think they're going to start to invest in.
They went defense every pick last year.
Yeah, every single pick, they went defense.
Wow.
Yeah, I think. Okay. Damn, but they do need corner. I'm.
You're trying to figure out a way not to get them Caleb Farley right now. That's what you're trying to do.
No, it's really not. It's because if it's corner, that's the route I'm going to go. But them picking defense all last year, I don't know if they want to start investing in offensive line. Okay, I'm going to go for the Panthers. I'm going to go Elijah Vera Tucker. Offensive line, he's guard tackle
out of USC.
Out of USC. I think they just need they got to start drafting offensive players. That was just my mindset. Can they really go all defense last year and then go defense again in the first round? I think a lot of Panthers fans will be really, really mad. They need some, especially with Sam Darnold there. They got their quarterback that they think they could resurrect. That was my mindset, is they had to start building with offensive players. So I think they're gonna go with I'll go with the offensive tackle, Vera Tucker.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree. Do what the Jets didn't do for Sam Darnold, either get him weapons or protect them.
Yeah.
Or both.
Yep.
So at 21, is it Tom or is it Chuck's?
It's Tom.
Tom.
Oh, I'm the guy against it.
Is it 21? Yeah, it's Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Tom with the Colts.
Colts.
Your boy Carson.
Needs are tackle, cornerback, and wide receiver. That's what their needs are. Their primary needs are, Tom.
I don't think they go tackle here. Give me
offensive tackle, corner, wide receiver.
Give me Elijah Moore.
Ooh,
I like that. I like that.
Yank him from the Titans.
They need a little bit more juice. They need a little bit more juice. A little bit more juice in that offense. I think their offensive line is good. They could go tackle there. Like I was leaning towards Tevin Jenkins, the offensive lineman from Oklahoma State, but I don't know if he's a tackle or a guard. So that's fine.
Yeah.
But
no, I like the pick. I like that pick, man. Elijah Moore is a stud slot receiver, and they have Pittman on the outside already. And they brought back T.Y. Hilton. We already know, because we talked about it with Sirianni. We know that Colts offense, they like to get the ball into the receiver's hand near the line of scrimmage for Yak. Man, Elijah Moore in the slot, give Carson that extra weapon. I like it. I really like that.
Yeah,
Who's 20 Jeff with the Titans.
Yep, I have the Titans, and since Titans are tied a little bit to a couple of positions, mainly wide receiver and cornerback, them losing Corey Davis, Janu Smith, and Adam Humphries, but with Elijah Moore being swiped away by their division rivals, I'm going to go defense here. I'm going to go Greg Newsome, cornerback out of Northwestern. They do have to fill in Malcolm Butler, who left them this offseason. So I'm going to go defense as they fill that cornerback position.
Greg Newsome, good pick. I can see that too. Because they need that cornerback help.
Yeah, they have no one.
Yeah, they have no one.
They have Norris Jenkins, and their other corner right now is Kristen Fulton.
Fulton out of LSU. We were talking about the Eagles getting him. Was it last year? He came out last year?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Christian Fulton, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are at the Jets. Pete, that's you, right?
Yep. All right, so We got Zach Wilson. We got some weapons. Robert Saleh came from San Fran. He brought LaFleur with him. What do they do there? They run the fucking ball. Give me Najee Harris at 23 to the Jets.
Love it, though. I love it.
I love it.
He's such a pimp.
Oh, he's so good. I love it. I'm not going to complain one bit.
He's going to be good for so long. Oh, he's going to be so good.
Man. He's going to be so good. I know I have a couple of Jets fans that really, really are hoping that Najee is the pick there at 23. Like they want him. So that's a great pick. I know Jets fans are going to love that pick. Unless if you think running backs don't matter. And if you think that, then get out of here.
Yeah, and I'm not a running back guy like you are. And if you think running backs don't matter, you're a moron. And, Najee Harris is like a top 12 talent in this draft.
He's so good.
And running back drops him for some reason.
Oh, he's so good.
And it's not like he has a ton of wear and tear on him from Bama either.
Yeah.
You got to earn it. You got to wait around. You know what I mean? You got to let the guys in front of you go ahead. Get your shot and all. And it's running back you too, Pete. And if Kyle Wilson and they wanted to be successful, especially early on, or Zach Wilson, sorry, they wanted to be successful early on, they got to run the football.
Yeah.
Because he's really good on play action. Because of his ability outside the pocket. So, if you have nobody to put the ball in the belly, good luck with play action.
Absolutely. All right. That's Jeff. We're next, right, with the
with those Pittsburgh Steelers, and Pete just swiped my pick. That was say the Pittsburgh Steelers. they were a team last year that only averaged 3.6 yards per carry, ranked last in the NFL. So they were definitely going to be eyeing the running back position with Najee off the board. I might be reaching a little bit. If I am, I apologize. But a lot of people's next best running back right now is running back Travis Etienne from Clemson. ATN. So I'm gonna go him just for the draft need. He might be a little bit too high. I know a lot of running backs don't go in the first round, and people are against it. But I feel they definitely need an upgrade at that position. Losing James Conner,
it would definitely be a home run hitter, which they don't have. They have Benny Snell, who's a power guy. So
yeah,
it's a hot topic. A lot of people are talking about the Steelers are going to take a running back. A lot of people are split on it, but man, I think they would be mad if Harris is gone. Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, I see it. A lot of people have. It's not a reach in the sense that ETN. A lot of people have ETN as their top running back over Harris. I disagree adamantly, but with the arguments they make, it may not be a reach in their eyes, so I can understand it. All right, so the Jaguars, we've got at 24, and that's me. So they've got their QB
25, not 24.
25. I'm sorry, my apologies. They need weapons for him. They need weapons, and they need something on offense. Oh boy. Give me a second here. This is okay. Let's see. I am going to damn. No, you know what? Okay. I am going to this might be a reach. Damn. This is tough. I'm trying to talk myself through this. It's tough. All right. F it. I'm going to have them go because I was thinking Terrace Marshall, but his stock is kind of dropping because of the medicals, and they already have a wide receiver like Terrace Marshall on the team already. I forget his name now. Why can't I remember his name? They drafted him a few. I believe he was also an LSU guy. I forget his name. If you can bring up his name if you remember it. Just put it in the chat. But I don't think they would go with the same type of wide receiver. So I think in his place they're going to go, even though it might be a reach. I think they would go Kadarius Toney for the Jaguars. Again, it might be a little bit of a reach, but I think they want to set up their QB with weapons. I think Toney is raw as a wide receiver, but the talent is there. He's electric. So I'm going to go with Toney. DJ Chark, Don, thank you. John Lynch, thank you. DJ Chark, he's pretty much the same mold, similar mold as Terrace Marshall. That's why I didn't go with Terrace. And they're both from LSU, if I remember correctly. But all right, 26 is Browns, and you've got you, Pete. Pete, are you on mute?
Sorry, my apologies.
I was about to say, I'm like, what?
So I'm over here talking to myself. I'm having a heart-to-heart with myself right now. Because this is just me, I am the 26th pick. It's the Cleveland Browns. My team needs are, if I'm Andrew Berry, right? And it looks like edge, interior defensive line, wide receiver, cornerback. Just signed Jadeveon Clowney. I got Greedy Williams coming back next year. I already got Denzel Ward. I got Odell coming back next year. The team I worked with before I got here to the Cleveland Browns is a team that we are very familiar with because I am Andrew Berry. Who did I work underneath of? I worked underneath of Howie Roseman. So I pick up the phone. Andrew, you know this is Howie. I'm going to give you 37, both my third round picks this year. I need that 26 pick. Okay, done deal. So with the 26
you're
pick,
talking about Eagles and the Browns talking.
With the 26 pick, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. I need to.
You gonna put it in?
I'm gonna prepare myself for it. Hold on. So so the Eagles are giving up the 37th pick, and what?
They're both third round picks you gave up.
Both third.
The third. Both.
Well, a third this year, and then a third next year.
Oh, okay.
Which third? Hold on, because I have to log this in. Remember, I'm keeping track, so I have to log this in. Which they have 2 thirds. So which third? The 70th or 83rd?
I'm gonna give him the 70th.
70th, and then was that it or another one?
And a third next year.
A third next year, and then for the 26th pick.
For the 26th pick.
Okay. Are you gonna? If you go here, where I think you're gonna go, I'm going to kiss you.
I'm fucking up every day. Caleb Farley. The bitch is like, it ain't. It's over. I'm good. I'm happy. If this just happens on screen next week, I'm gonna be the Chucks meme. I'm gonna be the new Chucks meme.
Let's go. I love it. I freaking love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Where's Dad? Where'd he go?
I love it too. I mean, at 26.
Yes.
26.
Yeah.
He stole my guy that I was going to take, so that's why I was like searching.
I got you. If you guys don't know, like Tom always makes fun of me because of my love for Caleb Farley, but him giving his endorsement for Caleb Farley at 26, I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, listen, he's a first round talent. I just got him third compared to you having him 1. I mean, that's just, it's not like it's like crazy all.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Pete, you just made my day. I freaking love it.
And you give up nothing to get up there, really. So, you know.
Yeah, nothing. Like nothing of value at all.
A couple of third round picks. So with this year and next year, I do that in a heartbeat. Absolutely. And me and Pete already talked ad nauseum for weeks about how we feel about Caleb Farley. I think it's you take that risk all day. At 26, you take that risk all day. Absolutely.
Question. So I'm running here. I'm trying to force it through the Pro Football Network draft simulator.
They don't. Do they let you force?
Yeah. At 12, this is the 2 offers that were proposed. So how happy would you guys be? I know I'm throwing a wrench in the plans of the draft. But Green Bay is one offer. They're willing to give us $29.62, a 2022 second, and a 2022 third to get to number 12. That's the first offer. And then Chicago is an offer from 20 to 12 and a 2022 Chicago first. Do you do either one of those if you're the Eagles?
Where is Green Bay picking?
29.
No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Too far back.
What were the Bears offering?
The Bears are offering the 20th pick and the 2022 first.
I would need more than that.
Okay.
I would need more than that. And I'm looking off of my value chart. I would need another like day 2 pick somewhere, if not a couple. So no, I wouldn't do either of those trades.
Okay. Now it's Dad at 27.
Yeah, that at 27.
And the last thing I'll say about the Eagles is you're feeling really good coming out of this draft.
Yes.
So you have to land 2 picks, and I think these are both, especially where slotted, are 2 hits. 2 hits.
Yo, guys, I will say it right now. If this is the actual turnout for the Eagles picks in Devontae Smith and Caleb Farley, you might see me cry on screen out of joy. I am telling you right now, I may cry. That is like the first time I think we'd all be on board with the turnout in the first round. Do I think it's going to happen? I do not think it's going to happen. I highly doubt it's going to happen because Lori and Howie like to screw us over. But yeah, I love what Pete's done, with the Eagles picks.
All right, now I'm up with the Baltimore Ravens.
Interesting spot they're in too. Interesting spot because they need to get over that hump. So what's the missing piece for them going forward? So that's the question.
A lot of the guys a couple guys I would take here are already gone. So I'm going to go Georgia outside linebacker Aziz Larry. I have no idea how to say his last name. Is it Jory?
Aziz Ojulari.
Yeah, he's a Georgia edge guy. Like he plays tweener, linebacker, defensive end, depending on the scheme. But okay, it fits. It fits.
Fits a 3-4, and they love their defense and they love those types of guys. So
yeah, absolutely. I like it. It makes sense because they need that. Because I think another need they were saying is wide receiver, but like I don't know. I don't know about them drafting a wide receiver that early. Again, when they run the ball all the time. All they do is run the ball. So all right, so I'm at it's me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's the Saints. I hate the Saints. So I'm really tempted to screw them over somehow here. What do they need? A wide receiver, linebacker, corner?
Saints need cornerback, wide receiver, edge, linebacker.
Okay. I'm going to – I think if I'm thinking the Saints, I think that I'm kind of hoping that Caleb Farley falls to them. That's also why I love the pick because I think if Caleb Farley is there at 28, the Saints take Caleb Farley, and I would hate that because I hate the Saints. So I am for the Saints. I am going to go with – I'm going to go with Asante Samuel Jr. I tried to be – and I like Asante, so I hate putting him on the Saints. But I think he fits what they do. They need a corner. I think they'll draft wide receiver later on. So I'm going Asante to the Saints.
Okay. I think may have probably went Zaven Collins there.
Okay. Now, Zaven Collins is 270 reported.
He's
he's trying to be a pass rusher? That's the argument now because people are saying, like, did he add weight so that he can be a pass rusher? Like an edge guy, like what Ajulari is. You know what I mean? Like a guy on the edge.
I mean, I guess
if you don't think you're a defensive lineman.
Yeah, I guess you could, but I mean, I would just say, hey, can you? I mean, get back to your college weight and let's see what you could do a linebacker. I mean, they lost the one kid. One of their linebackers in free agency. I mean, they lost a lot at free agency, so they need high production at a low cost because they were in a worse cap situation than what we were in. You know what I mean? So but I mean, I like it, but I can see them going linebacker too.
Gotcha. Okay. So Asante, and then 29 Green Bay. We're coming up on the tail end. We're making good time. Pete, you're Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. I am going because I don't think this guy was taken yet, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going Christian Barmore here.
Christian Barmore. Someone was falling, so I can see it. Yeah, because a lot of people have him as like in that teen range.
Yeah, best defensive lineman in the draft. Pro comp is Chris Jones. So
yeah, makes sense. Buffalo is.
It's me.
Yeah.
I feel they're going defense. Probably linebacker or a pass rusher. Let me see who's available yet. Did we pick Kwity Paye yet?
Nope.
Not been taken.
Still there.
I'll the fact that he's fallen a little bit this far down to the Bills and they need a pass rusher. I'll go Kwity Paye from Michigan.
Okay. I'm trying to catch up on typing this stuff out. Updating everyone. So you got Kwity Paye, which is good value. A lot of people have him earlier. He's like a lot like Brendan Graham in a way.
Yeah.
He's not like overly explosive, but he's relentless, he's sound, he's technical, so good. All right, Dad. Kansas City Chiefs. We got our father, our dad, Andy Reid. Who is he going at 31?
Well, again, Pete took a guy that I was eyeing up for them at 31. So Pete's done a couple times now, which is great. Where do they go here? Where do they go? I don't think anybody's taking this guy yet. Oh, I think he's still there. I think Trayvon Jenkins is still there. I don't think anybody's taking him.
Hey, Tevin Jenkins is still there.
Tevin Jenkins is still there.
Take him. Done. That's it. They need offensive line. They've let a lot go. They lost a lot from Mahomes.
Yes, yeah.
So they got to figure out a way to get that back.
Complete sense. Makes complete sense. Sorry, I'm trying to update these these banners. So so you got Chiefs taking offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins. I makes sense too. All right, so the last pick, we got the defending Super Bowl champions. It's funny, PFF, they have their top need as quarterback.
That's just a smack.
Sorry, they're not taking a freaking quarterback. Tom Brady's going to play another 5 to 10 years. There's no way they're taking another quarterback. What other needs do they have? They need. Why would they need another wide receiver?
Because they're losing Antonio. I mean, you could think Scotty Miller, if he can give you that again. You're good on the outside with Evans and Godwin.
I don't know. I like. There was a guy they took, something Johnson, that I really like for the slot. So I like that pick they hit. He was a rookie last year. Made some big catches when people were hurt. He stepped up. I think in year 2 he takes the next step. I think he's going to be their wide receiver 3. So I don't see wide receivers in need for them. I'm going to go with the athletic freak here for them. I'm going to go with Jason Owe from Penn State.
I can see it
on the edge, and they have the luxury of doing that. So
Thank you for the dono, Eagle Slayer. I hope it doesn't happen. I don't know what's going on with Ben. You know what I mean? But we need him back. I can tell you that. This flows so much better.
Yeah, I mean, people are underrating Ben and saying, "Oh, you can't shoot it." This is when you don't have Ben out there, you don't have a distributor, someone to control and keep pace, and then you don't have the defensive stalwart, and it's kind of showing. Man, like, this is bad.
7 points. Yeah, tough to win then. Tough to win doing that.
Very, very, very tough.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, so that is our draft, guys. Oh, Tyler Johnson. Thank you, John Lynch. Coming through with names that I forget again and again. So thank you so much. It only took an hour and a half. I think we flew through the second half of the draft. But very good exercise. I like a lot of the picks that we went with. So good job, guys. So we've got half an hour left on the show. Let's talk about, we got some time to kill. Let's do some bold predictions, or it doesn't even have to be bold. It can be just regular predictions if you don't want to go bold. If you want to give final thoughts on certain players that you love, and just anything, if there's anybody listening to the chat, listen to us. If you have any questions you want us to answer, anything you want us to address, ask it now. But yeah, final thoughts on players, bold predictions. Anyone, you can just go.
My bold prediction is Penei Sewell will not be the first tackle drafted on Thursday night.
You're out of your mind.
I know, I may be.
That's why he said bold.
That's why I said bold. Like that's my bold prediction. I feel like I don't know. You know how these guys. It has shown you in the Athletic article that was written about the Eagles that the people running these organizations and that are working for these organizations are not the sharpest tools in the shed. They like what they like, and they get scared off about things that they don't like. Just saying, somebody's going to sit there popping Rashawn Slater's tape when he went against Chase Young in 2019, and they're going to think like that guy because they're going to say Penei Sewell didn't face any pass rushers like that, and that's what they're going to go bank on. I think that it's just that old adage. It's the old boy network. I wouldn't do it, but obviously, I mean, there's going to be reaches. We already know that.
My bold prediction, and you won't know right away, but there's 5 quarterbacks really in this draft, and they could go just the way we did it here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one because I would assume it's going to be Lawrence, but there's only going to be one star out of this group because I think it's getting overhyped.
Okay,
a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know where that came from. Like I don't know why. Like we're comparing Zach Wilson to Patrick Mahomes. Like I think we need to slow down. Not us, but like the national media. I hear it, and I'm like, so. I think there's a lot of talent here. There definitely is. But I think only one of them is going to be like a star. I think the rest of them are going to be guys. There might be some good – there's going to be good ones, etc. But, that's where I stand on it because I think – I don't know how many franchise guys there really are here.
Yeah.
Now, is the star out of those 5, how confident are you that's going to be Trevor Lawrence?
95% out of 100.
You think? Okay.
I mean, this is my thing. This is just me.
Go ahead.
I like Trevor Lawrence.
Go ahead, draft day.
But where do you? When's the last time you seen stars at the quarterback position come out of Jacksonville? That's all I'm saying.
Never.
That's all I'm saying.
Never.
It's not Trevor Lawrence. It's where he's going. That's the problem.
I know. Well, but with Urban Meyer, I'm gonna say that he's going to help him.
Okay. Okay.
Like the other spots, I don't know how great they are either. So
if Fields goes to San Fran, I think he has a chance.
I think
it's a better situation.
I think if it's either Field or Lance go to San Fran, they have a good chance of being. Here's what I'll say. I won't say that they'll be the best. I won't guarantee they'll be the best quarterback, but I think they're as much of a lock to have at least a good career in as anyone, because that system is just so QB like friendly, and Kyle puts the quarterbacks in the best situation to produce. Look at the guys he's had that have excelled. I mean, Matt freaking Schaub had good years under Kyle. Like Kirk Cousins had career years under Kyle. Matt Ryan had his career year under Kyle, except for 2 years ago. Matt Ryan had his career year. But, I mean, that system is so QB friendly. I think that whoever goes to San Fran is pretty much a lock to have at least a good career. It might not be great. But they'll at least have a good career because Kyle's going to set them up to just do easy stuff. So I think it's a safe place to go for QBs.
Yeah, it's a safe spot for sure.
So we actually got a good question from the fam, from Slipknot 2K Sean. He says his bold predictions that the Eagles will somehow hit in the draft, but only like one or two will really shine. Out of 11 picks, if they make all 11, do we tend to agree with that, and do we want to see only one or two, or what would be? I want to say hit, but how many contributors do you need?
What does he mean by that?
Yeah, is he talking about first year, or is he talking about for a full career?
Well, just first, I would say, and I don't want to speak for Sean, but I interpret that as saying out of the 11, one or two picks will contribute right away. We'll have short-term and long-term contributions.
Okay, so like in year one, only one or two out of year one will contribute. I mean, if you look at it, your round one and round two picks are supposed to. While when you get into rounds 4 and over, those are more of the developmental guys.
Right.
I mean that makes sense. If it's your first two picks that shine in the first year, and everyone else will be hits, but it'll take them a little while, I'll take that. I'm in no rush. We all agree that like the Eagles aren't winning anything in 2021, so I'm in no rush. I just hit on the picks. Make sure that these guys are good picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Howie wants to save his job, you better hope at least two of them hit, they hit and are contributors year one. Yeah. That's not saying too much.
Like for me, I need at least one or two contributors from day one. But if we're looking back at this draft 2 to 3 years from now, out of 11 picks, if they make all 11, I want to see better than a 50% ratio of the picks that we hit on. I want to see at least 4 or 5 of these picks still with this team being able to see a second contract. We talk about just true elite talent, but look at the draft picks that we've had and who's actually reached the second deal. Like I would love to take a look back at the last 2 or 3 years at all the picks that we made and who outlasted that, not just that first deal, but was around long enough to get a second deal, still stay with the team. That's really in the true worth of your organization. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And if you hit, they always say if you hit on 50% of your picks, you're doing a good job. So if we hit on 5 guys who like turn out to be long-term contributors, they get that second contract, then absolutely, I think that's a good turnout. Don had another good question here. He says, do you all think Najee Harris can have a better career than Henry? That's lofty.
Yes.
That's very lofty. But I don't know if you guys will slam me for this. I love Najee Harris so much and his versatility. I think he can do it. I'm not guaranteeing that he will. I think he has that upside.
It also depends on where he goes and what system he goes to as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, if he can, he can. Yeah, theoretically he can. Will he? That's like you said. It's a lofty task because it's not like Henry. The thing about Henry is he's not showing any signs of slowing the fuck down. That's the scariest thought. So
and
he's
working.
like he's starting to wind down. Like he still can pad stats.
He's working on his receiving ability too. I saw it on Twitter. He's been doing a lot of training and improving himself as a receiver. If you start using Henry as a legit receiver, it's game over.
Good
like, he's too damn good, physically, and then he becomes versatile. Man, it's game over. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any. Oh, Don has a bold prediction. Arizona will trade in the top 10 and take Kyle Pitts.
I've seen a couple mocks and some simulators that I've ran where they're trading. They literally traded up to 10 with the Cowboys. They've traded up to 11 with the Giants. I've seen them trading up to 7 or 8. So they're definitely trying. Like Kingsbury knows that they're close. Like and once again, it's that you get a young QB and you just try to put as much talent around them as you can. It works for every other team that has a young QB. That's what they do. We're the only team who didn't do that. We backed into it in 2017, and then look what happened. Oh,
Pete Nathan says Zach Wilson will be a bust. Trey Lance might end up being the star, and Trevor Lawrence will be a decent QB. That's how he sees the QBs playing out. He also has a neat stat. Did y'all know? Not stat, but did y'all know Andre Dillard blocked Montez Swift? But look how it turned out.
Yeah.
God. Here's a question that was a hot topic on Twitter today because of Inside the Birds. Kaplan said that Slater could be there at 12, could be the pick because Brandon Brooks is on the trade block or has been made available for trade. If Rashawn Slater is the pick at 12, on a scale of 1 to 10, how mad?
If they trade Brooks, it depends on the conversation getting back. I mean, Brooks is a question mark. I mean, it's a legit question mark. And if you can turn that into a resource, I mean, I don't know, but do they happen at the same time? Because you can't draft Rashawn Slater and still have Brandon Brooks on the team. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. So I'd be upset if that's the case.
That all depends on who would be there at 12. So if say everyone that we potentially are targeting or we feel comfortable them picking are gone, okay, I would be okay with an offensive lineman. Yeah. You win the battle in the trenches. This team definitely needs depth because a lot of these guys are on the tail end of their careers or possibly moving on. They're going to be moving on from in the next year or two. So I wouldn't be against it, but say Devontae Smith or Waddle or one of the wide receivers or the cornerbacks, Surtain, are there and they still draft an offensive lineman, then I'm going to be a little pissed.
I was saying the same. Like I want one of the corners over him. I want Smith over him. Probably Waddle. I don't see a scenario where all 4 of those guys are not there, and Smith and Slater is. But we've seen crazy things in the draft, so I can't say it's impossible.
Right.
So if they're all 4 gone and Slater's there, then yeah, I would love the pick because you got to go through the trenches. So I get it. There was another question here. Here you go. Jay Koch says, "Quick debate with you guys." Parsons or Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah?
Parsons.
Parsons.
In terms of what, though? Because why can't it be both?
That's fool.
That's true, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like Jay, it's a great question, but why can't it be both? I mean, there's nothing stopping it from both guys being pimps.
Very good point. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good point, yeah. Because they're different types of players. Parsons is like your traditional stack linebacker, sideline range. He's going to get after it. God, I hate saying his name because I feel like I butchered every time. So I'm just going to say Joker.
Right there with you.
It's kind of like that movable piece where you move them all around the formation. You'll do a bunch of different things. Kind of like what, similar to what Jeremy Chin is, but Chin has more versatility on the back end as a safety, where Joker is just a linebacker. So I don't think he can play. You can't put him at safety, but similar. You move him all around the formation, use him in different ways. He can cover tight ends and running backs out of the backfield and coverage. He can, all that stuff. So very different skill sets. And Tommy, you make a good point. Like it go either way, go both.
I like Parsons better. You know what I mean? But I think both are going to play at this level for a while.
Bold prediction by John Lynch. Patriots trade up to 4 for Justin Fields.
Could happen.
Could happen. It could happen.
It'd be very uncharacteristic of Bill, but I mean, could it happen? Yeah, theoretically.
It could, especially with
He
all
could
those.
trade up for 4 for Justin Fields, or he can stay where he's at and maybe luck into Mac Jones or Trey Lance. You never know.
Mm-hmm. All right, Don says another question. If you had to rank the receivers from this draft to last year, how 1 to 5? Oh, okay. So who are your top 5 receivers if you're doing this year and last year? Okay.
And this is not we're not counting Judy, Lamb, and Jefferson production that we saw last year. Just ranking them based off of
this one coming out. Okay.
It's still coming out. Okay.
Hold on. I need to.
Okay, so mine would be Smith, Judy, Jefferson, Chase. Oh my God, I need one more, don't I?
You have no CD Lamb in there yet.
I know I don't, Pete. I know what I don't have. You got to play with Mari Cooper. I know what I have, don't have. Give me. Oh, am I doing this? I love Batman. Give me Jalen Waddle. Give me Jalen Waddle. Give me the Waddle. Give me the Waddle. Screw CD. Screw the Cowboys.
Oh my God.
We ain't here to praise. We ain't here to praise.
I'm still coming in mind.
Who did I say first? Smith, and then Judy.
Yeah, I think it's Smith and Judy.
And Judy is a sensational route runner, and you saw that translate year one, missing time, average quarterback play, right? Being a rookie, so I mean, I think he translated well, and is only going to get better. And Smith is like similar to him, except like they're not big guys, right? But they're great route runners. So you see how one can translate, the other can translate, and then the third was so you guys can keep thinking about how you're going to rank yours because I don't mind being completely off with all this. And my third was Jefferson.
Yep.
And 4 was Chase, and then we had Waddle.
Okay. Next, who wants to go next?
ICD.
This is tough. All right, because if you're not going to factor in how they did their rookie year, we're just gonna cross-reference their coming out and into the draft.
Yeah.
So unless because I was wrong on some of these prospects. I was wrong on some of these guys. So, but I had to stick to how I originally ranked them. So if I'm sticking to how I ranked last year's wide receivers, and then I'm cross-referencing that with this year.
Keep in mind, though, Chuck. Sorry, keep in mind. That's exactly how I had them ranked last year too. Like I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't basing.
That's the tough part. Because that's the tough part. I'm trying to stick to how I had them. So I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go Chase, Smith, Judy, Lamb, and Jefferson. But if I were to factor in how they did the rookie year, I would have Jefferson higher.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have Jefferson higher. I don't know where, but I definitely would have Jefferson higher. I think I might have him ahead of Judy. I don't know. So that's how I do the 5.
Sarah, we allowed the factor in Pitts?
Chase and Smith are definitely 1 and 2 for me. Chase Smith are 1 and 2, and then after that, it's like a crapshoot between Judy, Lamb, and Jefferson. Waddle kind of sneaks up there. Ruggs is definitely last. I'm definitely putting Ruggs last.
Ruggs is a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, Jalen Waddle is not Ruggs either. Like for the people.
Yeah. Waddle is what people were hyping Ruggs to be last year.
Yeah.
That's
Ruggs is John Ross, except a little bit better. Like he's John Ross, but better. That's all. Like he's better. He'll stick around. Like Ruggs will stick around for a minute. You know what I mean? He's not going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah.
But he's like a John Ross, like 2.0. Just a little bit better.
Jeff, you want to go? You got yours?
Well, are we allowed to factor in Pitts? Because he just said receiver, and everyone's considering Pitts a receiver. So
no, I think you would have to say.
Okay. Yeah, look at you. We see you. We see.
Hey, no one.
He makes a good point. I've been preaching that. I totally forgot, but I left him out of the conversation because I don't think Don
Yeah.
was trying to factor in Pitts as part of it.
I was just making sure before I look like the fool and threw him in there.
No worries.
But I'll go. It's difficult. I'll go Chase 1, Judy 2, Jefferson 3, Lamb 4, and then Waddle 5.
Wow, so you don't even have Smith.
Sorry, Smith 5. I knew I was forgetting someone.
5. Okay, so you based it over Waddle, but under Lamb.
Yeah.
Is it bad? I just want Jamar Chase to stink. Like when I know we're not.
We're not getting him.
Like, we're not getting him. We're not getting him. So like I want him to stink because I think the other guy. I like the other guy better just because that's just me. You know, but, because we have a better chance of getting the other guy. So like Jamar Chase is.
If we get Smith, then hopefully Smith will have to be 100 times better than Chase. That's the case. Yeah.
So for me, it would be Chase, Smith, Jefferson, Waddle. This is
okay.
And Lamb. Judy doesn't make my list.
What? Are you okay?
I knew it was going to get him. I knew it was going to get him. I knew it.
Oh my God! He might have had 2,000 receiving yards if he played with Kirk Cousins last year. He might have had $2,000. He might have had $2,000 if he played with Kirk. Right? There with freaking Drew Lock and a freaking practice squad wide receiver. He might have had a catch or two in that game.
What happened? That's funny. Dude, they're what you got? John Lynch says that there's another question here. Pete Nathan does ask if we move back into the first round pick. I know, Pete, you just did it.
Yeah,
Pete Nation.
No.
I'm trying to look up something.
You're up there like KD. You're up there like KD with burners. Mr. Evans.
Trying to. I'm just reading this news. We had a comment that said Terrence Clark RIP, and I just had to look up. As a UK basketball player died in a car accident. Reported like within the last 60 minutes.
Yeah, I'm trying to look that up too. Yeah.
RIP, condolences to the family.
Yeah.
But even with that being said, Judy still doesn't make my list.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right. The Eagles not naming a starting quarterback doesn't make my list either.
Oh, listen. I told Chucks, I was looking at the Facebook. Y'all was going back and forth. I can see both sides. I see both sides.
Every year I see his side. Listen, no. Every year I would see his side. Every other single year I would say, I don't care. Like, you don't have to tell me that. I already know who my quarterback is, right? You guys drafted him. This isn't what I want. This is what you guys put yourselves into, and you're going to actually come up there and tell me that you want him to compete against Joe Flacco? Get a clue. Just get a clue. You don't have to run and praise the guy and say, yeah, Jalen's going to, Jalen's leading our depth chart. That's all you got to say. Jalen's leading our depth chart right now. You know what I mean? And we're going to have guys compete. That's how you phrase it.
Can you at least give credence to the fact that, okay, because Sirianni was the one that answered the question. It's technically not Sirianni's call, right? Like, if he knows that it's not his call, he's got to be careful what he says, because then Howie and Laurie can, be upset about it. Like, do you at least think there's at least some credence to that? Maybe you are right in that Sirianni should have worded it differently, but maybe he's just trying to tread water because it's not his call.
So real quick, before anybody rebuttals to that, Louis Riddick this morning on Get Up said that very exact thing. And he went into detail to the point where Greenberg had to go back to him, like, are you saying what I think you're saying? And Riddick said, and verbatim, it's not Sirianni's decision to make in Philadelphia. He doesn't pick who's a starting quarterback. Outside of then he used San Francisco as an example where he said Kyle Shanahan has the final say so. He says in Philadelphia.
So shift the blame from Sirianni.
I don't care about Nick. You guys
I get Tom's point too. He doesn't care about Nick.
Nick's irrelevant. Nick's the biggest puppet in sports. I don't care about Nick. I'm right with everybody on who makes the calls here. We all know this. We're all not idiots here. We've all assumed this for a while. So I don't care what he said. What he's saying is coming from them. What he's saying is coming from them. So they're
on the same page.
I don't take that. And then just that, and then the rock paper scissors isn't a big deal to me. I really don't care. But it's just stupid. Stop. Just stop. Be excited about football. I like that you're excited, but just stop. That's 12-year-old stuff. I'll be who wants to play first this inning? Rock paper scissors. Come on. Hey, come on. I don't need to hear that. I just don't need to. I want you to be excited. Guys like you, whatever. You just don't matter to me. He doesn't matter to me. I hope he can get guys better. That's what matters to me. Can he develop players? That's what's going to matter to me. So his excitement, be a good player developer, because at the end of the day, with these two morons around, we know that who's pulling the string. So I want to be clear on our back and forth.
There you go.
I despise these two. Despise that you're going to tell me.
Welcome to the island, brother.
You're going to tell me that it's a quarterback competition. Excuse me. What you put us through last year, what you put us through draft.
See, that's where we are on the same page, Tommy.
You keep Carson Wentz.
If you're talking about blaming Lori and Howie, then absolutely.
Yes.
Because it's their call. I'm not going to blame Sirianni, but let's look at Lori and Howie and say, hey, what are you guys doing? What do you what? So I hear you on that. And the rock paper scissors thing was so funny. I knew that was going to be when I saw it on Twitter, because I was at work. I didn't listen to the press conference live, but when I saw it on Twitter, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be so funny. I think it's hilarious. Yeah. I honestly think it's so funny. And the thing is, these coaches, Sirianni's rock, paper, scissors is not the dumbest thing I've heard. The dumbest story I've heard from an interview. There have been so many prospects who have told their stories about questions they were asked at interviews during these draft processes that'll blow your mind. That's why I thought it was just funny. I didn't put any weight on it. I thought, okay, rock, paper, scissors, who cares? He's just trying to be creative.
It's just a Mickey Mouse organization. So everything tied to it is Mickey Mouse to me. That's where I'm just so mad about everything. So no matter what you're saying, it's gonna bother me, because I feel like it's just Mickey, look at Mickey. Right, look at Mickey.
It's kids playing in the sandbox with my emotions.
Does anything matter anymore? I'm just so hurt by this organization.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right. Well, on that note, we have hit the 10 o'clock hour. That means time is up. Guys, another great show. Yes. This is our last show before the big event next week. I am pumped. You guys know I'm pumped. I am excited. Tommy, thank you for coming on so much. It's always great having the big guy on here. Loved it. Thank you for helping us with the mock draft. Pete.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Jeff, it was awesome. Great job with the mock draft again. Everyone listening in, thank you so much for tuning in to our show this week, for tuning into our draft takes. Definitely tune in next week again. Like I said at the top of the show, we've got a bunch of other draft coverage on A2D Radio. We've got a mock draft simulator reaction show on Wednesday of next week. We've got the live reaction to the draft shows on Thursday and Friday nights. The whole panel, everyone at A2D will be on there. You do not want to miss it. And again, I said this last week, you don't want to miss me making a fool out of myself again. God knows that it's like a guarantee. I will make an idiot of myself again. So if you don't want to miss it, definitely tune in, because these moments they only happen once a year.
They're so precious.
2 years ago, I made a fool of myself after they took Sanders. Last year, I made a fool of myself after they took Rager. So
run, Booby, run.
Run, Booby, run. That's right. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Our sponsors, Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy LLC. Make sure you reach them at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We also got the counseling center at Sunrise Detox. You know, when many of our families deal with mental health issues, make sure you give them a call at 856-651-8117 and tell them Tom from ATD sent you. And our sponsor for our poll, bodycheckwellness.com. Use promo code A2D to get that 20% off discount. Tune into our other shows, guys, all the rest of the week. We've got too many for me to mention. We are loaded up at A2D, and we are all over on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, and Twitch. So check us out. Like, follow, subscribe, leave a review, the whole nine. For myself, for your boy Pete, for your boy Jeff, and the guy in charge, the big guy Tom, thank you for tuning in. Birds of a Feather. We will see you next week at the draft. Peace out, guys.
Mortal Kombat, 5 hours. I can't wait.
Who's ready to get hurt again?